I'ma spit some real shit for y'all right now. It's like, look, like when you grow up in the trenches, it's like society treats you different, man. Like look at you different. It's like, man, you coming from where we from, man. We were on the come with it. Look, they treat you different when you from the trenches. Bitch, I didn't grow up in no burb, I grew up in the village. Trying to get that shit up off the curb, I turned it to a menace. I wasn't hanging around with no girls, bitch, I was hitting fences. Childhood trauma, take it back to about the age of 9. Gunshots sounding like fireworks on 4th of July. I told my sisters and cousins that we gon' be alright as long as we stay solid, protect each other through eerie nights. Childhood trauma, my mama, she worked a 9 to 5. Still managed to come home and feed us when it was dinner time. Still managed to curve on the visas up in the winter time. So back to school, we was popping like the beginning times. I won't let this childhood trauma try to take me out. It made me who I am today.
You hear Daisy in the background, know that? That's Mac, man. She's blowing. She's killing it right there, man. But I give all honor and praise to God. I'm truly grateful. I'm alive and well. I'm not dead, not in jail. And I don't take that lightly. So glad to be here with you guys. For those of you going to tune in and watch us, I always give a shout out to Bo Taylor. That was my mentor. I give a shout out to Sister Lita Heron. She's the one who got me on Gang Talk Radio back when we was on AM radio in 2009, right when Michael Jackson got dead, y'all. That's when I started doing this with Sister Lita Heron. And my host, the host of the show is not here, man. She's having I don't even want to make a joke. I was about to say she having plumbing issues, because her stomach is making, whatever. But I don't want to take that lightly, man. I pray that she gets better. This is the Kayla and Skipp show. Kayla's not here this evening. She got issues. So let's keep her in the prayers, man. Let's keep Kayla in the prayers, indeed. So I have a guest today. We've been talking about this for about 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 months. He said, come on, man, I'm coming on. And I called him and I said, man, you ready? He said, man, I'm in Vegas. I was heartbroken, man. Like, damn, man, I had you coming on the show. I had to scramble. I probably I don't know who I got to come on that day, but I finally got him here, man. He done wrote a book. He done been to the penitentiary. He done wrote a book. He done lived that lifestyle, and he's turned his life around, and he's doing a lot in the streets, helping people. I see him everywhere. And plus that, his family is my family, man. I grew up with his family. So, it's like, shit, we peoples, we family. So
yes,
I could give you an introduction, but I'm not going to do it. I ain't even going to introduce him. I'm going to tell him to introduce himself. Ladies and gentlemen, here you have Brother Terrel, man. Introduce yourself, sir.
Well, first of all, I want to give all praises to God, man, because, without him, we wouldn't be here right now. We wouldn't be as far as in our journey that we are. And thank you as well for having me, my brother. And like you said, we are people. We family of family. You know what I'm saying? You on that Damu side of the family. so we family. But, for those that don't know me, my name is Terrel Tillman. And I'm from South Central Los Angeles. And man, I'm just delighted to be here. I got some new information about my book. Finally got a release date, and I want to talk about the reentry population and the education that I'm trying to bring to the table as far as my book and my curriculum, and a lot of the different things that tie into the reentry population that ties into where we at in society right now. As far as people coming home and things of that nature. So I'm just glad to be here. And, man, we're going to keep it flowing, man, and give the people some great information that they can utilize tonight, regardless if you're a reentry population or not. You can know somebody, and we're just going to talk about some real life stuff, man, that's real life relevant,
So let me ask you this, man. What was your biggest obstacle, your biggest challenge? So, matter of fact, I want you to think about it, but for me, I did 10 months in jail and 19 months in prison, 10 months in jail, right? Mm-hmm. So when I came home, everybody like, oh, you did wine no time. You ain't do no time, right? However, my mother dropped me off at my baby mama house. And she said, let's walk to the store. Mm-hmm. First of all, I ain't walked on the streets in 29 months. You know what I mean? So we went to the Ralph's Market, whatever it was. and it's about 8 o'clock at night, and I started itching. I got anxious, man. I was just shaking like a heroin addict, and I was like, I looked at her, I said, man, I can't do this. I got to get up out of here. And she said, what's wrong? I said, you ain't going to stand it. I just ran up out of there, man, because I'm thinking I'm about to get a 115, man. I'm thinking, man, I'm about to get, I'm thinking, man, this ain't cool because I ain't supposed to be here. That's how I was feeling, right?
Yeah.
I need to go take a shower and get to the phone. You know what I mean? Because it's that time.
You
It's
was on
your
the
recall.
program, right? You was on the yard program.
And so I went to my homeboy Rabbit, right? So Rabbit had done like 10 years, right? He did 2.5 lockdown.
Yeah.
And he like, man, you ain't did no time, Skip. Come sit on this porch and have a drink with me. And I said, damn, I love Rabbit, but I can't call him no more.
Yeah.
Because he gonna try to get me drunk to deal with all the pressures and shit that I had coming home out of prison. So how did you deal with that? How'd you deal with coming home?
Well, I done did 19 years total, and I did 2 different stints in the feds. The first stint I did was 11 years, and I went in from 91 to 02. I went in at 18 and got out when I was 29, about to turn 30. And that first stint, it was like, everything was like a culture shock. Everything was different. Everything was new. I was lost in time as far as technology. I was lost in time as far as the economics, the socialism, all the stuff that was new that was going on. I was lost, and it was just like I was like a tourist in my own city. I was very uneased about being out amongst people because it was like that PTSD and that anxiety was definitely kicking in, and so I felt more safe being inside. Because I knew that door closed and I'm good. I'm inside. I ain't got to worry about no outside stuff. And it was like every day was a journey. Every day something was new. The way I was perceived, the way I was received by my family, by people that didn't know me, that people did know me. It was just crazy. And then I stayed out for 10 years. I did 6 months in the halfway house. I went back in at the end of my 5-year violation.
What happened, brother? You left some money in there, or what? You wrote your name in there, had to go back and erase it. What made you go back?
The
brother?
thing about it is this: like I said, I stayed out. I have 5 years supervised release my first bit, and I have 5 years release right now. I stayed out 4 years and 9 months. I had a problem with smoking weed. I'm not gonna lie. I was like a big bud head. I was a straight bud head. I smoked you out the door. And around my birthday time, I would go straight and be good. But my birthday time, I'm like, fuck these people. I'm finna get high. I'm finna smoke. So I would smoke, and guess what?
What people? What people you saying fuck?
I was saying fuck the government, the police, my PO, and all that. I was willing to take
that
chance. To prison, I was willing to take that chance to get high and risk my freedom. And it was like, okay, as long as I don't go back to jail, I could deal with a violation. As long as they don't put me back in jail. So I tampered with it. I got a few dirties. And lo and behold, 6 months out before I was getting off 5 years supervised release, my PO tried to reinstate my supervised release a whole year because I had got another dirty. And I was like, nah, we not finna do that. I said, nah. So went to court. The judge said, okay, Mr. Tillman, you don't have a problem out here. You just like smoking weed. So I'll never forget it. Judge, she said, you know what? I'm going to send you back in to finish your last 3 months, and then I'm going to discharge you. I was cool with that because it was like 3 months after them doing 11 years and 5 years, almost 5 years in the street, I can go knock that out. Not a problem. And
that's crazy. Weed had you like that.
Weed
had you ready to sign up to go back to the penitentiary.
Weed signed me up to go back to prison. Listen, I signed up to go back to prison. I risked my freedom to smoke some weed. And not only did I risk it, I used different crutches to say this is what I need to use. You know, my brother passed. That was the main thing. That was my biggest crutch. My brother passed, and I didn't know how to cope with that death. So guess what? I turned to that weed, and I got high. You know what I mean? But prior to that, I did it because I wanted to do it. So it wasn't just only my brother's death. It was just because I wasn't willing to give it up yet, all free. And then during my whole 11 years, I was smoking. I had to detox before I came home because I was smoking so much. So I still had a weed problem coming to the streets. So on the streets, I didn't value my freedom as much, and I sacrificed that and went back to prison. And lo and behold, when I went back to prison, MDC for 3 months, I was still smoking weed. And I smoked today until I got out again.
Man, that's crazy.
But this time
Now,
when
how
I
do they
got
get
out,
weed and you talking about Metropolitan Detention Center down?
Yes,
How
indeed.
the hell do they get weed down there, man?
You know what?
It's a brick building
where there's
with
a will,
nobody
there's a
come
way.
in, but nobody comes in but staff.
Hey, where there's a will, there's a way. So I'm not going to say how it get in there because
Right.
guess what? I don't know exactly how, but i.e. you can just imagine. Money talk, bullshit walk.
Okay, but I want to go back to something, man. You said, fuck them people, I'm going to smoke my weed. And I want to just tell you, man, from what I heard, when you said fuck them people, it really wasn't the government, man.
Exactly.
It's the fuck them people is my
Was
family.
my people. Exactly.
The people who love me. That's
Exactly.
what happens when I said fuck them people.
Exactly.
Because the people who hurt when I go to the penitentiary, even if I go do a violation,
Yes,
the people who
indeed.
hurt is my family.
Yes, indeed.
I just wanted to call time out for that, but go ahead, brother.
No, and you're absolutely correct on that point. And that's a point that a lot of people, myself included, overlook when it's like, oh, it's not just about me, it's about my family. Because I can go do 3 months on my head and in a corner, in a hole, wherever.
I can't no more, man.
But the
How you
thing
do that?
about it, then,
Oh,
not
okay,
now.
Yeah. I
Then.
can't give him 3 minutes,
No,
man.
then, at that point in time. So, but when you go to prison, you're hurting your family. And I didn't realize when I was, like you said, I was thinking, fuck the government, fuck the people, but I was also saying, fuck my family. And one of my DT counselors used to say, you don't love your family? Oh, he would piss people off with that. But when he broke it down, it made absolutely great sense. Because if you love your family, you're not going to do certain things to put yourself in a situation to put yourself in jail to hurt your family. And the same family, whether it be your kids, your mother, your father, your sister, brother, that love you and that need you in the world. So you have to prioritize certain things. So I went back and I did those 3 months and I got out and I was free. It was like, oh my God, I'm out. I'm doing my thing. I'm working. Got into the gang intervention world with you and the rest of the brothers, Akil Bashir, PCITI, and APUU, co-founded that group. And man, I'm out here pushing for the community. I'm good. I'm like, yeah, I feel good. This is where it's at. We gotta stop this nonsense. We gotta slow these killings down. We gotta make a change. Be the change we want to see. You know what I mean? I'm in it. Seeing my other family, my Damu family, my other Crip family, we pushing this line. And remember, it was a week in LA that it wasn't a murder. Remember that? And they said, LAPD was like, wow, you guys really, y'all making a difference. They said, we can't remember back in the day, we can't find no one in history where it's not a murder in LA.
Well, I remember this. I remember one year, starting in New Year's, there wasn't a homicide for 17 days. There were shootings, but no homicides.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking
17 days, yeah, and that's when
that's
all
that
was
time
going
period I
on.
was saying.
Yeah.
You know, they was like, wow, we ain't had a murder
Right.
in this amount of time. That's incredible.
Right.
You know, and it was like I said, it was just the different push that we was pushing, and then I was doing well, had a lot of stuff going on, and I faltered. I didn't let my no means no, and I tried to help somebody that I should have never tried to help, and I am back in prison. And when I got back,
and that was after the 3-month violation.
that was after 3-month violation. I got off, and it's so ironic because the first time I got out January 1st, 2002. I went back in January 12th, 2012. 10 years. 10 years to the day that I got out from my first bit, I was back in. Praying for 10 years. Now get this, praying to get a 10-year bit.
Ain't that something? I want people watching to understand what he just said, that that's one of the reasons why I don't do stuff anymore, because I don't want to take the deal for 10 years.
Man.
I don't want to take the deal for 12 years. You know? So I'm just letting y'all know, man, this ain't cool.
No, it's not cool. I'm laughing because in retrospect, it's not funny at all. But I make laughter of it because I've done it. I've been through it now. I can talk about it and I can joke about it. But it was serious when it happened. And, you know, I literally wanted to kill somebody. I was super fed up when I got back in there. I was really wanting to hurt somebody. And people that encountered me felt my energy, and I really was ready to hurt somebody. And once I got back in the system, I luckily I did get a 10-year deal. I got a young man off of my indictment, and he's back out here doing his thing in the community. And I always kind of bring that to his attention whenever I see him, because didn't even really get a thank you that I got you off an indictment, but it's all good. I have to wait it out with myself and and get over that part. But once I went back in, I seen so many people that was still there when I first left, 25, 26 years in, and they didn't have a clue about what they was finna encounter. So the Creator touched me with the ability to get over my bullshit, get over my self-pity, get over kicking me in the ass, and to write a book, a reentry book. And
So
then
that's
from
what
the
you did,
book,
huh?
from the reentry book, I wrote a spinoff curriculum. Because I said, well, everybody not gonna read this book. I said, well, let me write some curriculum. There's something that could educate people. And once I did that, it also opened up doors for me inside the prisons, because inside I end up getting my Toastmasters Competent Communicators certifications. All of my speeches were on reentry. I did all my presentations on reentry, all my workshops and seminars. Then I did the drug patients, the RDAP, and all my workshops and seminars is on reentry. So, and then I started a few reentry programs inside the feds at different institutions. And I was also the reentry facilitator at TAF the last 22 months when I was there.
Ain't that something? But you could have did all that on the streets. One of the co-founders helped to start APUU, but you went to the penitentiary to give them. I mean, you know what? And sometimes God will do that.
Oh, yeah.
God will say, you know what? We need you more in the penitentiary to help these brothers than out here on the streets. But, I mean, that was a choice. I can't blame God for you doing whatever you did. But just think about it, man. How many lives you could save out here doing the same thing, man.
And then, and I look at it like, it was meant to be, and maybe God saved my life.
Right.
I look at it like that too, because I mean,
definitely.
I was wilding out from the time I went to prison at 18. I always tell people I could be on death row, I could be dead somewhere, just from 18. So then when I got out, I wasn't a saint, but I wasn't out here pushing that same negative line and in the criminal activity, but I was still around. I hadn't severed my ties. And and then God said, you know what? You ain't learned enough. I need to lock you back down. That's how I take it. And that's why my company is called Lessons Learned, because life is full of lessons and we're supposed to learn from them. And when I went back in, I was like, okay, I did my whole bit a different way. I didn't smoke not one time. I didn't drink not one time. And it was like I dealt with so much bullshit that was worse than the first time, but way easier. And it was like, whoa, but these were just the tasks that God put me through to see that I'm changing and to allow me to change and want to change from that violent person. Right. Because the first time I was with the business, I'm there doing it up. The second time I had multiple opportunities and was in the right way to fuck some people off, and I didn't. And it was like a hell of a learning and growing experience for me. And I had to learn how to live that example, learn to be example and walk it, you know what I mean? So that was like a test. And, so God released me to make it through that journey. And I've been out here. I've been a peer navigator for Project Impact for the last, since February 2020. So I've been dealing with the reentry population since I've been home. I'm actually living by the guidelines of my book. And, it's keeping me on track because I can't be a hypocrite. I wrote this in the book. Why am I do the opposite of what I'm saying? So it helps me to stay on track as well.
And that's what a lot of people don't understand, man, that part of doing this work is for myself first. I'm very selfishly doing this work for me. I'm one argument away, one fight away from going back to prison. So I got to work on me. One of my neighbors, a bus driver, a guy got on the bus and said, man, you an hour and a half late, you this and that. He said, nah, brother, this is my schedule right here. I don't give a F or whatever. He said he just kept getting off on him and just kept talking and talking. And my neighbor did 17 years in prison. He said, Skipp, I tried. And then he beat the shit out of him. So now he don't have a job. You know what I mean? And so people don't understand that it's a difficult task to go through these different prison yards to go through these streets and go through this and want to be a peacekeeper, a peacemaker, and a peace ambassador. It's really hard. Somebody on here, I'm gonna read the notes I'm getting right here. There's someone who says, "Thank you for giving us this platform." Tara, you know Tara?
Yeah.
Okay, Tara said that. All right, Tara. Then somebody else said, somebody else want to know where you from. And let me tell you, hey, look, man, shots rang out. We not hitting up people on my platform, man. Asking where he from. he from right out the federal penitentiary, man, and he here now doing positive things. Mr. Fantastic say, I know the homie. Well, Mr. Fantastic, you hit up Shots Rang Out and tell him where the homie from. Big Cat like my jacket. Appreciate it. And there was somebody else here. Cassandra said, when someone's doing time, the whole family is doing time.
Yes, indeed.
Trust me. So appreciate all you guys watching right now. Got us locked in. So the biggest challenge you had, brother, the biggest challenge you had coming home, being home, staying home now, what's the biggest challenge? And people who might have their phones in the penitentiary, they watching, they want to know what's the biggest challenge. The biggest challenge,
I'm going to tell you, the biggest challenge for me personally is disciplining myself. Staying disciplined and having that self-control to not have the fuck-its. Because I was saying this yesterday to my 10 Toes In brothers.
What, Darlene?
Yes.
Darlene Burke?
Yeah, yes, I'm part
of
it.
Tell Darlene to feed me, man. Hey,
I am part of that community,
the
10 Toes In community. I met Darlene Burke when I was in the halfway house. That's my girl.
Hey, tell Darlene to feed me, man. They be having food. They be in the meetings. So me and Darlene, our office is right across from each other.
Yep.
And she's in there, and she got all these women in there on Tuesday, Wednesday night. I smell the food, and I poke my head in, and all the women look at Darlene and say, "Tell him to leave. He gotta go." I just want a plate. Okay, go ahead. Finish your story, brother.
Yeah, but and I'm gonna get an office in there too sooner than later. So I'll be in there. Right. I'll be up in there with y'all, but. That discipline aspect, and not only the discipline and self-control in so many different ways, because out here you're going to have a chance to fuck yours off, because people are going to try you, situations are going to occur, whether it be something that might turn violent, potential violence, a death in the family, somebody might call for your aid that feel like you finna come be the problem solver and get on somebody's head because they know you was with the business in the past, or it could be your mother, father, child, cousin, brother, sister. And they're going to call you and they're going to expect you to come and save the day. And it might be something that could be detrimental for you pulling up on. And like I was telling my family, the 10 Toes In family yesterday, get the facts. Don't just run up in the house and it's burning with fire. Get the facts, think about it, and then address the situation, which is best for you. Not them, but it's best for you in your situation. Because guess what? If you go over there rapidly, not thinking, go knock somebody's head off, you're going to jail. They're going to be on the streets living their life. Oh, my cousin came and he did this and did that. But he in jail now, and right. She gonna be on the street. So you have to think, and discipline and self-control not only comes in the form of that, but getting your life together financially, being a family man if you have children or you have family, not getting aligned in sexual activity with a lot of different people, being able to have that humility, walk away from certain situations that you may have indulged in a long time ago, partying, going to these motorcycle functions, these clubs. You got to discipline on yourself.
They got motorcycle girls at the motorcycle functions.
Man, and you know what? They good to go. It's a whole lot of them. They waiting for a guy to come in there, especially a new guy they ain't saying, "Ooh, you look good, baby. Right. Where you been at?"
They want to go outside and look at your motorcycle. And then they see I ain't got nothing but a T-shirt on. I ain't got no motorcycle. Baby, get in the Chevy Malibu. Come on, let's go. But, hey, look, I want to share something with you that I learned from the Mayor I Can. And I normally charge $100. I'm going to give y'all this for free. In any situation, what I want to do is I want to eliminate the negative. In any troubled situation I'm in, let me eliminate the negative, let me establish the facts, and then choose my best option. That's the way we deal with any situation. I first got to eliminate whatever the negative is. And I told my children, I told my little girls, my 25 and my 22-year-olds, right, that they have to protect me. And they're like, what you mean? What you mean? Man, if you dating somebody who want to put his hands on you, if you went out somewhere with somebody and they ain't right and they about to do some shit to you, I'm like, man, you got to protect me, because when I come, you're my daughter. I'm coming full steam ahead. I don't want to talk. I don't want to negotiate. I don't want to do none of that. I want to hurt somebody behind you. I'm going to go to the penitentiary. Or if I run up on the right person, I'm going to go be dead. He going to get me first. So I said, in this situation, you got to protect me. So whatever decision you make with whoever you want to date or wherever you want to go, you have to make sure that decision protects me from going to be dead or in jail.
And that's the thing, man. Man, just the other day, brother was talking about that. My kids are my trigger. We know, some of us know our triggers. And like you just said, this is my daughter. When I come, I'm not coming to talk. I'm coming to knock a nigga head off. So protect me. So guess what? I'm to the point like this. You my daughter, I love you, but you grown. You making decisions on your own. You laid your ass down to open them legs. You did what you did. You knew what this little dude was about. So guess what? This is my life. I'm going to hear you out. I'm going to listen to you. And I call it the 3 A's. Assess, adjust, and address. I'm going to assess the situation. Then I'm going to make the proper adjustments. Then I'm going to address it where I feel is necessary to how I need to address it, so that I can protect myself.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, and that's my philosophy in life on a lot of different aspects. The AAA formula that I have come up with. You know what I mean? And that's from all of the training. That's from all of the politicking. That's from all of the street stuff. That's from all of the drug stuff. That's from all the trauma and family stuff, dysfunctional stuff I've been through. That's going to be suited for me.
Right.
And like I tell people, I can go to work, go home. My chances of waking up and to the next day is much greater than somebody going to the motorcycle club, going to the park, going in the hood. Because I'm eliminating the aspects of danger. If a straight bullet come, lightning strike me, or I just don't wake up in my sleep, them is pretty much the 3 factors that's going to stop me from having the next day and seeing the next day.
But I'm definitely going to make the right decision each and every night. I'm going home, no question. Going home.
But it's crazy because we out here in the field, brother.
Yes, sir.
We out here in the field. So anytime we step out our doors, we are definitely targets, because we out here pushing peace. We're out here pushing harmony. We're pushing the positive energy out here, and we're pushing for the change that we want to see, man. And we standing on our stuff, man, and we're not gonna let nobody scare us off our mission. And I man, kudos to you. I've been a part of a lot of forums you've been on, and still support you and what we do. I'm just doing it in a different way and coming from a different angle.
Right. You know what's so crazy, man, is I always hear about the dudes who be talking bad about me, this and that. And I be thinking, man, what is it that would make someone talk bad about someone who is all about peace and bringing peace? You know what I mean?
And I'm going to tell you like this, bro. I'm going to tell you like this.
Hey, Tick just called me. Tick just called me and said they was...
People are very envious of people that have changed.
Right.
And a lot of people are scared. And that's the biggest fear in people, change. And when you pushing a positive line and you pushing a peaceful line, I'm not no punk. I'm not no buster by far. But I don't want to go knock nobody down because I know that's going to hurt somebody. I don't want to put myself in a situation that's going to go to prison. I don't want, like I tell people, I'm trying to create healthy relationships. I don't want to hurt nobody. I have enough pain in myself. I've caused enough pain in this world, and it's ripple effects that people that don't even know I did something to them or some of their family, they don't even know. Right. But I know, and I live with it, so I don't live that way no more. Right. And fuck who don't like it. Excuse my friends, but screw who don't like it.
Right.
Because I'm the one who had to pray for forgiveness, and I know what I've done. Right. So I'm pushing positive stuff.
Yeah, I believe that, man.
Dudes envy that. Dudes envy your strength. Dudes envy your courage.
Not just dudes, it's girls.
People. Okay, people.
Talking.
People envy your strength and your courage and your platform and how you use it. Because guess what? They scared because they can't get their ass out there. They envy what you do.
Hey, look, yesterday, man, I'm walking down Western Avenue at 39th Street.
I seen the picture.
And if anybody knows me,
I see the picture.
And my jacket kind of represents, I have no business walking down Western Avenue at 39th Street. But one of the guys from that area said, Skipp, and he came out, and we sitting there talking, and just on a humbug, Tony Stacy walks by. And I'm like, you ain't supposed to be walking down Western Avenue. Man, let's take a picture. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and that's the beauty. That's the beauty of, just being that guy. So people don't understand that for me, it didn't come with the traumatic experience. Yeah, okay, I'm facing life in 1998, that type of shit. But what really happened is I matured. I just became a mature person, and I knew that I don't want to be dead or in jail. I did a violation in 2004. I was, 40 years old, 39, 40 years old, right? And I'm doing this violation, man, and I'm tired. Yeah. Dudes was coming to the dorm, and they was like, hey, where dude from, man? I need that. And I said, man, if you don't go lay your ass down, you don't need nothing, man. Lay your ass, that's what you need. And I got a crew together, like a fatherly crew. We said we gonna beat the shit out of the elders. The elders, Crips, Bloods together, right? My bed was a spot where we talked about, hey man, somebody beat the shit out that youngster and tell him he ain't coming running them fades, man. You're not doing it. We not moving the bunks, none of that. And you come in here, man, you get along, we gonna eat together. And then furthermore, in 2004, we was getting rushed every 2-3 weeks, as soon as they got their numbers up there, it's coming for us. So you can't do that. But it just came with maturity for me, and I said, man, I don't ever want to be a part of this foolishness. Then when I get home, 2005, and I'm with Bo Taylor and the American crew, and I started seeing how we had been fighting and killing each other. Dudes who we tried to kill each other, we now sitting at the table laughing and joking. And it's like, man, this is just a sense of humility, but it came with maturity. You know what I mean? And hopefully everybody gets to see that. Everybody gets to see that, man, we all from the same place, man. We all went through the same thing. So you gonna tell us now about the book, man, and some of the things you do. I got your card in my hand,
and it's crazy because that you say that, because I sit down and talk to a dude that actually shot at me.
I know the dudes who shot at me too.
So it was
I say their name. And
we sit up here and laughed about it though. Me and the guy, he was like, "Oh, that was you." I was like, "Oh yeah, that was me." He was like, "We hear it now, but we doing something positive now." Right. Like you say, maturity. They say kids play foolish games. You know what I'm saying? Men do men things. So we're adults. Right. We're mature. We're past that in our minds. You know what I'm saying? And we live in that. So. The book, Formula for Success, it is finally finished, and I just got off the phone with my publisher today, right before I came here, and I have a release date on Amazon, and I'm going to make y'all wait to the end.
Man, Amazon sell everything. Huh?
Yeah, man, Amazon sell everything.
They sell weed?
I don't know.
Go ahead.
I don't know about that.
All right, go ahead, man.
But so I have a release date, and I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait to the end of the show to tell everybody the release date, because I want that. That's like, wow, you know what I'm saying? Because I've been so waiting on this, and I'm so anxious about it, because I know I got a price, like I got a new product, that a lot of people need.
Are you going around promoting?
Yes, man. I've been on several podcasts like this. I've been on my social media platforms.
You ain't been on no podcast like this. Look around, man. This is CNN.
Look, man, I done been in Morris Media Studios more than a few times, brother.
Oh, okay.
I'm very familiar to this platform, man. I love this place. I'm gonna be here some more. One day I'm gonna have my own show right here.
Yes, indeed.
The reentry, the lessons learned reentry O3O right here.
Indeed, man. So, and then can I come on and promote my book?
Most definitely. Most definitely. Everything
I gotta write it.
Everything that's positive and peaceful, we can promote. You know what I'm saying? Right. We go promote all the healthy stuff.
This used to all be black, right? And then the poetess, gotta say what's up to Felicia, right? She put this on here and made it CNN. This is Crenshaw Negro Network. This is CNN right here. Right. But go ahead, man. Tell us more, though, brother.
So, Formula for Success. It is a first of its kind book. Every chapter has a educational part to it and a lived experience part to it. So, and everything is firsthand information. It's fact-based information, and it has no other quotes with my own. I'm a creative writer, so
Give me a quote. Just give me one. I can put on Facebook.
one quote.
Yeah.
Every process has a process.
All right, I'll take that, man. Every process has a process.
I mean, when you touch that digital thing, it might move instantaneous, but it took seconds for it to happen. It was a process.
Every process.
Every process has a process.
Yes, sir.
So, and it's something that's needed in society. And not only is it for people coming out of prison, but it's also for people who will never set foot in the prison.
Yeah, that's the key.
Employers, family members, co-workers, anybody that in society, you're going to run into somebody who has been incarcerated or dealing with the justice system, whether they just got out the pen on my head, or you can tell by the way they walk, the way they stand, the way they talk. Or some people you might not even know they've been in prison, because a lot of people don't know I'm that guy until I tell them. But it's for everybody that's going to come in contact with somebody who has been in prison and have a better understanding of who that person is and how to engage with them and help them, and also how to try to live in harmony with people that come home, because people that's coming home are part of the fabric of the community. And a lot of people coming home have influence over a lot of people that are in the community.
Right.
Whether it be, they might be somebody's grandfather, grandmother, uncle, aunties. They have influence over a lot of, and then a lot of the younger people or the people that have influence over are, willing to listen to that person because they feel like they might got some wisdom to give to them, and
I think that's the maturity. The maturity comes when I start listening. So when I was younger, I was always talking. But the maturity comes, I need to listen. I need to understand. I need to listen with the intent to understand and not with the intent to respond. There's so many people that I've been talking to lately that cut me off mid-sentence. And I just look at them, I'm like, all right, go ahead. Nah, finish. But you'll never know what I was about to say because I'm not even going to go back to it now. Because what I don't want to do, I'm looking at the camera, I normally charge $100 for this. But what I don't want to do is I don't want to talk to somebody who doesn't want to listen to me. If I'm talking to somebody and you want to talk to me, I'm trying to talk to you, but you want to talk to me, I'm going to stop and I'm going to listen to you. And I'm never going to share with you what I was sharing. So that was good advice.
And 90% of communication is listening. You have to be a good listener to be a communicator. Because if you're not listening, things going to go right over your head. And sometimes listening is not just verbally listening, it's watching, it's body language.
Oh, definitely.
So, communication.
Body language, tone, all that plays
all of
a
that,
part.
most definitely. But if you're not a listener, it's going to go right past you.
Right.
It's going to go over your head.
Most people are listening to tone, watching body language,
or
and verbiage.
they're listening to respond as
Right.
opposed to listening to receive the information and comprehend and understand, like you said.
You know what, though? But one of the things, what you just said, comprehension, I can't blame people who don't comprehend. So, like, if I want to tell you something, and I want to tell you, man, that, hey, the electricity is going bad, man. Don't cut the light on at the house, right? If I say it, I still need to ask you, okay, now what did you just hear me say? I need to make sure that you heard so that you don't get
clarity.
Right. And then if you say, I don't know, something about the lights, well, then I need to draw you a picture. And here's a happy face if you don't go home. Mm-hmm. And here's a sad face with hair everywhere that you electrocuted if you do go home, turn the lights on. So this is what I've learned as a communicator, that some people don't comprehend.
Yes.
And I got to find a way. I got to write a drawing, or I got to show them a film, a clip or something.
Yeah, you got to come down to where they at.
I got to figure it out.
And that's the thing about this book. It's very simplistic, the way I wrote it. It ain't no big words you got to go look up, and it's going to throw you off of what you was reading. I made it very simple. Person with a second grade education can read it and follow it. It's very comprehensible to the reader. I made the font bigger. I broke everything up into stanzas, so it's not a big block that'll deter you from reading. So I put all the love and effort in this book, and remembered the things that I didn't like about reading. Because I don't like to read, but I like to get information.
But what
And I
you just
will
said
read
is so
something
critical,
that is.
man. When you said you broke it down, made the fonts bigger, you put it at a level where people with second grade education could read it.
Yes.
And I'm going to tell you why. Because somebody with a ninth grade or 11th grade education sometimes get bored with reading. So they can understand, they can read it, but I got to make it easier for them. And I appreciate you doing that, man.
Yeah, and it's like, because I understand, even if you're a college graduate, I mean, you're going to have some type of pleasure in reading. And I wrote it in stanzas. I broke everything in stanzas down because once you read that stanza right there, it's going to prepare you to read the next stanza, as opposed to reading the whole block and saying, damn, I got to read all of that. Then you might forget where you left off at and all that old goofy stuff too. So I wrote it very, I thought about what I didn't like when I was reading books in prison, you know what I mean? Or wherever I read.
What'd you read? Iceberg Slam? You read Donald Goins?
No, you know what? I read a lot of educational books and
James Patterson books.
I didn't read too many autobiographies. I did read Malcolm X.
Okay.
And that was one of my favorite books to read. But I read a lot of self-help books. I studied emotional intelligence, psychology, human behavior, anatomy, of the body. So I was into the perspective of why people act the way they act. Right. And it gives me a better position and perspective and understanding to read and process shit. You know what I mean? Because I'm big on, I want to see how I can read this person. You know what I mean? Right. How I can process what they doing and what they saying and see if it adds up. So it's like, I was always the what, when, why, how kid. Right. Shit didn't add up to me. Certain shit didn't make sense, and I wanted to know why. Right. You know what I mean? So when I read books, it was more informational, So I wanted to, and then when I got in tune with the creator, it was like I was high off the best creative drug it was, but I was sober.
Hey, that's a beautiful thing.
And that's
man.
how it's been since I've been home.
Yeah.
The last day I smoked weed was the first day I went to jail, 2012. 1/12/2012. The last day I smoked weed.
2012. All right.
Yes, indeed.
All right. That's the last time you smoked weed.
Last time I smoked weed. And I smell a lot of it now, and it smells good. And I be like, ooh, that smells good, but I don't want none.
Yeah, I think it was 95, 96, 94, back in there when I was smoking weed. I ain't smoked weed since the 90s, man.
Yeah. That's a good thing, man. When you got a natural high, ain't nothing better than that, man.
Right.
Because can't nobody, they say when you take that first hit, you looking for that same high. I mean, I'm high every day. Yeah. I'm high every day off of life, off of being happy, being free. You know what I mean?
You know what I be sitting there thinking? I be sitting there thinking to myself, man, I was most likely to not succeed. You know what I mean? Hey. And then I look around and people calling, and I'm like, man, go back to work. Go back to work. I'm like, man, I got employees.
But let me ask you one question. I'm going to ask you one question.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to ask you one, because I know my answer to this.
All right.
How old are you, brother?
I'm 58.
Did you ever think before you was 13 that you would live to be this age?
Man, everybody kept telling me I ain't going to make it to 21. Hey. So
there you have it, folks.
Right.
We're from that generation that
right.
we couldn't see past 18, let alone 21, let alone 50.
No, come on. After 21, I said, okay, I made it, but I bet you I don't make it past 25.
With so many kids and so many grandkids, we never thought that of our lives.
Yeah.
So the Creator has brought us somewhere because He knew what He had installed for us in our journey, and we didn't even think that ourselves.
But not only that, man. Everybody thought I was gonna be a janitor. I was gonna be cleaning buildings and stuff, man, and all that type of thing. But really out here, man, doing stuff right now. Getting contracts, training, going to Bakersfield, going to Fresno.
Who would have thought we was going to be in a line of work that we're in, brother?
Right. And I see you at all the things.
Couldn't nobody tell me I was going to be an advocate for peace, education, helping reentry people? Because I've seen many people go to prison when I was a kid. Uncles and all that, homies, and went to juvenile hall and all that stuff. Myself. You could have never paid me. I'd have been like, man, get the hell out of my face. Right. Ain't nowhere in the world.
So you know what that means? I mean, God is a God of second chances.
Oh, most definitely.
And there's a third chance, a fourth chance.
And that's why your company is called Second Chance, Second Call. You know what I'm saying?
Second chance at loving life. So,
yeah, man.
Man, I'm grateful to be alive and well. And people don't realize what I mean when I say that. Mm-hmm. Looking at everybody who's dead and gone, man. How many people did not? Matter of fact, I'm going to a funeral tomorrow. I'm going to the Hummy Half Ounce funeral tomorrow, man. And You know, he's younger than me, and I'm looking at not so many people get killed, but I'm thinking about all the people that died.
Yeah.
All the people 48, 45, they done died, heart attack, different
Bad
things.
health.
And bad health. And
ODing
a
all
week
that
and a
stuff
half,
now.
I'll be 59. And I'm
Yeah.
thinking to myself, man, how did God allow me to be 59 and these dudes didn't make it to 40, 45?
Happy early birthday, man.
Yes, sir.
Happy early
it.
birthday, man.
Yeah, I give all honor and praise to God for
All
me
the
being
time.
alive, man.
We got any questions on there?
Yeah, well,
Anybody?
this one guy is, well, let me just tell you, man, that Tara definitely got your back every time we talk, man. She's saying, that's it, King, you the king. But Alfonso, whose last name is King, said some people are void of comprehending, meaning, well, I'm going to tell you what I take from that, Alfonso, is that some people, they'll do their best, but they just can't comprehend.
And, that's the thing about it, and that's why, as a facilitator, as a communicator, it is my job to bring it down to layman's term and meet that person where they're at so that I can help them understand. Like you say, draw a picture. If I got to do some stick pictures to make a person understand till they say, oh, I get it now, that's where I got to take them.
Right.
You know what I mean? If I want them to understand what I'm really talking about, if their comprehension levels is slow, I got to get down there and down and dirty with them so I could bring them up.
Right.
Nah,
and that's a fact, man. I got to figure out a way because so many people just disregard our people.
Yeah.
So, well, they can't get it, forget it, this and that. And, that's why we're cut out of a lot of opportunities because our comprehension is different. There was I don't want to say a cartoon, but like a meme where there was a dog, a squirrel, a lion, not a lion, a leopard, an elephant, and they said whoever can climb the tree the fastest, you're the smartest. Well, that shit ain't fair to the elephant, the alligator, and the dog. That squirrel gonna outrun that jaguar, that leopard, off the top because he know what happens at the top of the tree if you get caught, right? So them two gonna be in a race. Everybody else gonna sit there and look like, oh, so we ain't smart because we can't climb this tree. So and even think about this. That's the measurement that society uses.
Yeah.
The report card. Did you get an A?
Yes.
And if I didn't get an A, oh well, man.
Yeah.
I don't want to study this no more because the way you're judging me, you judging me based on what Susie and John got, and man, I'm not getting an A. I'm not comprehending algebra and science the way I'm comprehending English, the way I'm comprehending history, or the way I'm comprehending sports.
Yeah.
So if you measure me and you give me this one measurement, well, I'm gonna outdo John and Susie in sports. I'm gonna outdo them in history, but they're gonna outdo me in science and math or whatever.
Yeah.
So to me, it's not a fair measurement. And then, of course, getting into the corporate world, everyone wants to know, well, what degrees do you have? Yeah. And I ain't got no degrees. Well, then, do you have a high school diploma? No. Do you have a driver's license? No. I ain't got insurance, none of that, but I could run my own company.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So I don't like the way that we're being measured, and I don't like the way that even the children are being measured. So the way I help people, Alfonso, comprehend is like you just said, man. I break it down. I explain to them. I show them. There's some people who have the opportunity to take their kids out the country. Mm-hmm. So what? I don't understand from a book. But if my parents just took me to Spain, if my parents just took me to Aruba or, another country, that now I get a better understanding because I get to see it for myself.
And also to add to that, the level of comprehension is your openness and willing to learn. You have to be open to learn and comprehend and understand what's being said to you, what's being shown to you. Have an open mind. So because like you said, if you haven't been exposed to certain things, your mind isn't open to it. You living in a box. You live in a prism. You know what I mean? So but it's also the level of understanding. Like we understand that part, about the systemic aspect of the education levels and the education schooling. You got to have this and have that. And look at us. We defied all of them out. I mean, I wasn't a dummy in school. I was one of the smart gang bangers. I pride myself on being a thinker and seeing ahead of the curve and planning and strategic moving. You know what I mean? Because I didn't like to get caught. Right. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to get away. So,
most of them dudes who came before me, Whitey's Enterprise.
Oh, my God.
Rick Ross, real Rick Ross, not
Freeway.
The singer, right, for Freeway. I can name all these dudes. I don't know if they want their name, but Honcho, Chris Young, all them out of Compton, man, these dudes had
Michael
millions
Harrio.
Man, and his brother David. You know, them
Yeah.
dudes had millions of dollars
Yeah.
back in the days, and it wasn't
Waterhead
based on
Bo.
Waterhead Bo, Pat, all of them, man. They had all this money back in the days, and it wasn't based on their education level.
Mm-hmm.
It was based on the fact that they knew how to do math, do business. They kept their business going. It was actually the government that pulled most of them down. It was actually the system that pulled them down, or else we'd have had these entrepreneurs.
If you look at it like this, man, we was businessmen. Because guess
That's
what?
it.
I can go out of town, set up shop, have a clientele, promote, market, move it, produce it, resell, recoup, go, all of that. Just wasn't no paper with it.
Right.
Now we know how to do the paper along with it.
Right.
We know how to do the 501c3s. We know how to do the LLCs. We know how to do MOU.
Right.
You know what I mean? We know how to do these things. And like I tell people today, it's all in the contract. It's all in the wording. So if a person don't want to get on that contract line with you, don't deal with them.
Right. So think about this, man. Had the drugs not came to our community, had it been somebody had been dubbing the movies, and they came with millions of VHS tapes. You know what I mean? And now we're going out of town with the VHS and make millions the same way, just with something different. It's a tangible product that we're taking, and it's not drugs. It would have been the same thing. We'd have went
like
everywhere.
E40 out the trunk.
Exactly.
Just like all that out the trunk. And that's what this book is about. But the thing about this book, not only am I going to be pushing it, I got a machine like Amazon that's going to be available.
Oh, definitely.
You know what I mean?
I missed a couple names, and one of them is Manpower. Definitely, man. They had that. They had the building over on Western and 73rd, man. Yeah. So, yep, big shout out. But okay, so what is it that you wait? Well, there was one more question. Why is it important to support the community we live in? Why is it that? So, if I make a lot of money, why don't I want to move to Moreno Valley or Tustin somewhere or Lancaster?
Well, I mean,
why do I want to improve L.A.?
I mean, you can live where you want to live, but to give back to the community that you come from and that you know that people suffer because it's unfair circumstances there, that's my reason. And because I come from the mud, I come from this, and I want to see my people evolve, and I want to help as many people as I can evolve. I can't save everybody, not trying to save everybody, but if I can help one person, then another person, then another person, I'm doing what God calls me to do. I'm doing God's work, period, brother. So I don't care what nobody say. If you knew me from the past, if you knew who I was in the street, my street name, my prison name, my name is good in the streets. My name is good in prisons. My name is good through all the organizations. But I'm moving in the Creator's path, and I'm listening to his guidance. I'm being guided by the Creator. I'm serving the purpose of him. So guess what? I do walk with my peaceful sword, so stay out of my way. You know what I'm saying? You know, but I push positive energy. But I do it for the purpose that the Creator has given me and that he showed me when I went back to prison. This is one of my purposes in life, to get out here and help people understand and get educated on how to re-enter society healthily and, you know, make a good thing of it and never go back to jail if they can help it.
Right. All right. So this is Terrel E. Tillman, Formula for Success. And I got to change that on my YouTube. I spelled your name with 2 E's in there. But the Formula for Success.
Reentry-030.
Reentry-030. Okay, so that's your Gmail. What's your Instagram? People who want to follow, go pull your phones out right now and follow on Instagram.
People that want to follow me on Instagram, you can go to The Velvet One. THAVELVET and the number 1.
All right, The Velvet One. And now, lesson learned, building up a healthy, introspective, facilitator, author, speaker, program manager, reentry expert. What is the date the book dropping, man?
The book is dropping November the 20th on Amazon.
Hey, man, that's my birthday, man. You
Oh,
dropping
okay,
on my
all
birthday.
right. Oh, the
So
big
that's
two.
Sunday.
Look, the 2-0.
Hey, look, man. My mama had the nerve. So I was born November 20th at 1220 East 20th Street. My mother grew up on 20th and Naomi.
Oh, wow.
And she said,
20 was just, you was just destined
she
to
said,
be a 20, huh?
how you get to be a part of that gang over there? Like, mama, you went to 20th Street Elementary School. How'd you asking me and had me on November 20th and took me to 1220 East 20th Street?
Hey,
What are you talking about?
It was
Well,
destined.
it was destined. So you gonna drop the book on that day, right?
Yeah, the book is gonna be released on Amazon 11/20/22, and shortly after that, I will definitely have my personal books that I'll be selling. And the catch is this: if you go on Amazon, they're gonna be $100 for a book. If you go on ebook, it's gonna be $80. But if you buy it from me, you get an autographed copy for $50.
All right, so how they gonna find you? Gonna be on Crenshaw? You gonna go to all the Laker games?
So
what you gonna do, man? How they
you
gonna
can
catch up with
find me on
the Velvet one.
You can find me on the Velvet One on Instagram. You can find me on Terrel Tillman on Facebook.
You said that fast.
Terrel Tillman on Facebook. You can also, I have also another Instagram page, which is TReal AW and you can also call me. Call me direct, 213-866-8156.
That's 213 area code. So for those of you who don't know, there was a singing group called 213. That was a rap group, actually.
Oh.
213.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, indeed. So say the number one more time.
So the number is 213-866-8156.
All right. Well, we're about to run out of time. So what I want to do is I want to encourage everybody to go follow Terrel E. Tillman, whether you got to be the Velvet One on Instagram or the Facebook or call the 213 number. But get the book. Get the book. I'm going to get the book. I'm going to pay $50 for the signed copy. I don't want Amazon to know where I live, so I ain't gonna order the book. I don't want them pulling up, dropping boxes at my house. You know, they got porch pirates out here, man. They got people who do that for a living, man. They ride around and they look for stuff that they could just take off of other people's porches, man. And
I just want to thank you, brother.
Yes, sir.
Give me that
man.
love, bro.
Appreciate you, man. Yes,
Fam,
indeed.
you fam.
Yes, sir.
And we doing this, man.
All right, so
Appreciate
appreciate you guys, man. Go follow Terrel Tillman. And before I leave, I always want to give a shout out to the poetess for making this spot available for us.
Thank you.
Well, here's
You're
what I
not
gotta
here,
say.
but thank you for sure.
Say bye, Felicia.
Bye, Felicia.
All right, so I got some theme music, man, and we'll chop it up as the music play, man.
I ain't gonna lie, it's like I'm gonna spit some real shit for y'all right now. It's like, look, like when you grow up in the trenches, it's like society treats you different, man. Like look at you different. It's like, man, you come from where we from, man. We were on the come with it.
Look, they treat you different when you from the trenches. Bitch, I didn't grow up in no burb, I grew up in the village. Trying to get that shit up off the curb, I turned it to a menace. I wasn't hanging around with no girls, bitch, I was hitting fences. Childhood trauma, take it back to about the age of 9. Gunshots sounding like fireworks on 4th of July. I told my sisters and cousins that we gon' be alright as long as we stay solid, protect each other through eerie nights. Childhood trauma, my mama, she worked a 9 to 5. Still managed to come home and feed us when it was dinner time. Still managed to curve on the visas up in the winter time. So back to school, we was popping like the beginning times. I won't let this childhood trauma try to take me out. It made me who I am today, won't let it stress me out. But babe, I learned from my mistakes, I'ma go another route. Got some cake for a rainy day when it's another drop. Yeah, I grew up in the ghetto, I ain't ashamed of it. And I struggled on different levels, I got my pain from it. Niggas that die tryna live this life, tryna build a name from it. I hope I make it out alive, I ain't the same from it. I grew up in the ghetto, I ain't ashamed of it. And I struggled on different levels, I got my pain from it. Niggas that die tryna live this life, tryna build a name from it. I hope I make it out alive, I ain't the same from it.